Good morning, what's good? It's your girl Queen Jones, aka Killer Queen T, aka Black Eye T. I apologize for not having a shirt. I was gonna get in the shower, then I remembered I had the video and I wanted to do it before that. So, that worked. Y'all ain't gonna get no boob shots. I apologize. Alright. They're like, Twins, we're not getting no boob shots? So saying like we have to get a boob shot. No. This is the only time y'all even see a drop of boob. I apologize to the beginning. So, and since I'm apologizing about things, might as well just go ahead and keep apologizing because I think I'm about to start another story because that's just the life I roll. So we on chapter 4 of The Fallen. It's about time, Vicky. I told you he's no good. I don't know what you saw in him in the first place, said Tessa, Vicky's closest friend. I could hear them talking in the hallway as we made our way to English class. Several hours had passed since I told Vicky off. Is that what we call telling Vicky off? Is that what we call telling somebody off now? Too quick, you have too tough of a skin. That's the problem. That might be the problem. Low key, if I have too tough of a skin, that because all he said was the only problem I have right now is you. Is that him telling her off? The only problem I have right now is with YouTube. Did I just tell YouTube off? And this algorithm? I'm just trying to figure it out. They couldn't see me in the crowd behind him. You don't even know him. I know he's nothing but a wannabe gangster, and that's all I need to know, Teresa said, cutting Vicky off. Since we met, Teresa did nothing but giving me dirty looks. I usually gave them right back because I have no time for snobs. But you don't even know she's a snob. She think you a wannabe gangster, and you think she's a snob. If y'all just get to know each other, a little communication up in this joint, then it'll work out. That's why he got beat up, because he a jerk and no one likes him, Teresa scoffed. I guess he's not so tough if he got beat up that bad. You better off without him. I bit my tongue and kept my mouth shut. Nigga was following, creeping, and listening. But it wasn't easy. If Teresa wasn't trying to chill Vicky, I would have told her off right there in front of everyone. The only person I got a problem with is you, Teresa. Ooh, he just told Teresa off real big time. Ooh. What's she talking about, Teresa? Cut in Roland Bailey, a boy who sat in the back row near me in class. I heard Martin clocked your boy Steve and Mr. Dooley in class. I paid cash money to see that, he added. But you should save your money so you could buy some sense, said Tara Carson, this heavy girl who knew everyone at Buford. Besides, it ain't none of your business, so just stay out of it. Can you all just drop it? Vicky snapped as the group reached our classroom. I felt bad. Why you ain't walked up? At this point, shit, several other motherfuckers walked up and put their input in. You might as well just go on here and walk up like on some ex-boyfriend shit, like, you know, mind your business, stay in your own motherfucking lane. You know, get your little slick shot in there too. Let Vicky tell you to shut up too. Since she already telling everybody to shut up. Let it be a crew activity. I'm just saying. I felt bad. She had all this attention. But there was no way I could stand up for her. So you couldn't stand up for your girl because you supposedly, let her know you wasn't fucking with her. But that's the love of life. It would only make things worse. Jump where, Vicky? Asked Steve Morris. He came up from the other side of the hallway and surprised her. See? It's not like he ain't watching what's going down there. If you gonna walk up when Steve Morris say something to your girlfriend, you got a fucking problem because y'all fought. Y'all had beef. Gotta go up, put them hands in. Violence is not the answer. Shut the fuck up. Violence is the answer. See how I just told you to shut the fuck up? Ooh. Just forget it, she replied, rolling her eyes and darting into class. I was seconds behind them, walking into the classroom. Teresa was the first one to spot me entering. Her face twisted when our eyes met, like she just looked at a pile of garbage. Come on, Vicky. Why you gotta be that way? Steve said as I made my way to my seat. He glanced at me as I sat down, his eyes narrow and angry. My problems with Steve started in gym class. I watched him slam into this short kid, Eric, who was playing playing him strong on the basketball court. Afterwards, Steve boosted like he had beaten LeBron James one-on-one. The rest of the class laughed along even though Eric was hurt. Just like a Zamanor, it was the crowd. It was the cowards who laughed the loudest. I don't know, man. Do we consider Martin a coward? That's my question. Do we consider this fool a coward? Because I don't know. So you let me know in the comments. Do you consider him a coward? He got all these other statements about everybody being a coward, but then you just watched him not stand up to fool. You watched him not stand up and protect his girl. So it don't take much skill to hit someone half your size. I says, sick of listening to Steve show off. People in the locker room look shocked, like I was supposed to be scared just because he's Blueford's star running back. Forget that. The next day, Steve and his boys sucker punched me. I didn't see them until I was on my back, staring up at Steve's smirk. I couldn't let it end like that, so I followed him into the locker room and clocked him. That's when I got busted for fighting. That's because you not slick. You get what I'm saying? He might not be a coward, might not be 100% coward, but he also not slick. How you supposed to be running up on motherfuckers, getting your lick back and not making sure ain't no adults around? Like, let me know, homie. You supposed to make sure ain't nobody with no power around and then clock Shorty. What? Not Shorty clocked you and then get caught. How he clock you and then get caught, but you clock him and then get caught. Get caught. At first, no one told Miss Spencer I hadn't thrown the first punch. But then Eric and Vicky came forward. How is Vicky coming forward? Okay, she might have seen it in the gym, but she don't know what popped off in the locker room. So how would she know this? He didn't hit. How would she know that he didn't hit Marty first? Because Vicky would only seen Steve push Eric. Now Eric would probably know, but how would Vicky know? That's a whole female. She wasn't in the dude's locker room. That's where the fight went down there. He just happened to get caught by a teacher punching the student. And the other student didn't get caught punching him. You know what I'm saying? Miss Spencer kicked Steve and 4 other guys out of this week's football game. If you ask me, that ain't even punishment. Who cares about missing a stupid game? But football is a big deal at Buford, and Steve cared. The next day, he came at me again. Me and Vicky were walking down the street when this car whipped around. Next thing I knew, Steve and the 4 other guys surrounded us. It was 5-1, and I was getting nervous when Frankie and our crew pulled up in his Le Mans. Hey, Holmes, Frankie barked as he got out of his car. You ain't having a party without us, are you? He then spit a nasty white glob on the ground at Steve's feet. I don't know, cause it's like at one point you like, okay, you know what? You can accept Frankie help without being Frankie's friend. Cause as soon as motherfuckers popped off, as soon as they skeeted out, I'm letting you know you can slide. Cause homie, we ain't friends. Like, we cool, but we ain't friends. Like, I let you know when my brother got killed because of you, I let you know then we couldn't be friends. That's how you grew up rocking. Steve and his friends looked like they were about to wet their pants. It would have been funny, except Frankie had that sick smile on his face. The one that told me it was about to get ugly. He was going to put someone in the hospital, or a body bag. That's when I jumped in. He ain't worth it. I said, holding Frankie back just long enough for Steve and his crew to get away. That's what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? I got people what I'm saying. Like when Frankie on the scene, then Martin appeared like a coward. I just gotta say that. When Frankie come up on the scene, he a coward. But when everybody else on the scene, Martin don't appear like a coward because everybody else is cowards. If that makes any sense. Frankie about that life. Frankie like, hey, y'all want to fight? We fight. Somebody go to the hospital. Somebody die. That's what goes to Frankie, man. He like, Martin like, oh, no. They was just going to jump me, do a little kick here. Thanks for helping me out, homie. Me, no. What? We don't get to stab nobody? We don't get to send nobody to the hospital? No. I knew things between me and Frankie would go downhill after that. But I just couldn't watch him ruin another kid. Not in my name. Not after everything we're hero. Steve wasn't about to thank me for saving his butt, though. I could see that in his eyes as I sat in Mr. Mitchell's class. Even though he was talking to Vicky, He was looking at me like he was planning something. No, he trying to see if you finna come over there to put your hands on him since he talks to your girl, because Steve don't know that you just put your girl in her place and y'all not together. Like, think. Like I said, Steve, just drop it, Vicky replied. She started to look back towards me, but then stopped herself. See, that's why everybody looking back at him. Because Vicky was about to look back at him because she wondering why he ain't came over there and say nothing to this nigga that he don't like that's talking to her. Am I the only one that's thinking like this? If I'm the only one thinking like this, drop it in the motherfucking comments. I won't even be upset. Steve's jaw tightened up. His leg was twitching like he was ready to pounce. Up until I came along, he and Vicky were friends. They even went out a few months last year. She told me it was no big deal, though Steve's ass always said it was. Oh, so now you not talking to me? He said, glaring at Vicky and then at me. Don't tell me you still into Sanchez. He's just gonna drag you down, girl. Like my grandfather used to say, if you lie with dogs, you gonna end up with fleas. Oh, snap! Roland shouted. That's cold, yo. He say more than getting fleas. My blood started boiling. I was trying to hold on to let it end this way so Vicky would move on, but I was having trouble. You got to say something, because now you pissing me the fuck off. I'm just being honest. But I was having trouble. My fingers were purple from squeezing my desk. Don't do it, Steve, Vicky said. Do what? Tell the truth about your new boyfriend? He not her boyfriend, Teresa said. She hasn't seen anyone since you two broke up. I don't need you to speak for me, Vicky snapped, flashing an angry glare at Teresa. What's the matter, Vicky? You and Sanchez got in a fight? Steve asked, a smirk on his face. That must be where he got all them nasty bruises on his face. Or maybe those are flea bites. I'm coming across the desk. At this point, I'm coming across the desk to punch you. I don't think so, Squeeze. You can't fight. I don't look like I can fight, can I? No. Right. Shut up. You better be careful, Holmes. Y'all see what he said. It was disrespectful. You better be careful, Holmes. Why you say it like that? Steve replied, a smug grin on his face. No one's gonna protect you in here. Not like last time. Oh, he just called you soft. He just came at you. Now you got to do something. Anger raced through my veins like fire. The truth was, I protected him from Frankie. He knew it, but he was putting up a front, saving his reputation. No, he didn't. All he thought was you didn't want them to fight, so you stepped in. He didn't know you was protecting him from Frankie. He could make that story however the hell he want to make it in his brain. What's wrong with this man? What's wrong with this man? What is wrong with this man? I don't know. I might not even be able to do what I want to do because I'm doing too much talking. I shoved the desk aside and moved towards him. My fist clenched, my pulse pounding like a drum in my forehead. Martin, don't! Vicky yelled. I ignored her. In my head, I could see myself. Oh, so let me get this straight. You didn't... This is coward behavior. If I tell you not to because it's not worth it, then you keep wanting to go for it like it's worth it, then yeah, that might be a little coward behavior. Because you can back the fuck down. You don't gotta feed into the rule right all the motherfucking time. I could see myself smashing the smile off his face, breaking his nose. For a second, it was like the whole world had tilted, driving me toward him, like he was the reason my life had fallen apart. Like hurting him would make it all better. Marty, a diva voice shouted, snapping me from my thoughts. It was Mr. Mitchell. He come into the classroom without us noticing. Get back to your seat. Now. Dozens of eyes focused on us. Some people like Vicky were concerned. No, I'm not concerned. Because first of all, the whole time, because I'm starting to feel like the only time Martin moved is when he know the adult about to enter the scene. Because the nigga was just talking good ass shit about you, says you had flea bites, but yet no teachers around on the scene. With the minute you decide you want to charge up on some angry shit, now, yes, I'm upset. I'm feeling some type of way. Because it's like, I could have seen the fucking fight, and this nigga want to play. You the coward at this point. You could be looking at him concerned because you the ex-girlfriend. Me, I'm a stranger. I'm this man. I'm on this man from campaign. I ain't finna be looking at him with concern. I'm finna be looking pissed because he just took too long to make a fight pop off. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't. But if you do, drop it in the comments. Some people like Vicky were concerned, but most seemed hungry to watch a fight. You know how school is. Thank you. Steve stared at me with a cold, hate-filled smile. Whatever, I said. You notice how he said he didn't say he was smiling. I walked back to my desk, grabbed my chair, and sat down. My ears was ringing and my hands shook with anger, but I held it in, barely. I'll see you at the class, Martin, Mr. Mitchell said, and then quietly began taking attendance. You see? Because he the only one looking like he trying to start some drama. Like he only want to be messy when teacher walk in. Steve was probably just standing up. You running up on motherfuckers when the teacher walking in. Because you don't know how to, you got to tap all that shit. You got to be watching the door. You got to be on it when motherfuckers coming at you. Sideways. Because you never want to make, you never want to look like the bad guy. It's wrong. The class sighed, and people slowly turned to face the front of the class. I took a deep breath, grabbed my notebook, and tried to swallow down the rage that still smothered in my chest. Revenge is sweet, Mr. Mitchell said, then paused so his words hung in the air. Is that a true statement? It was revenge a good thing, he said, eyeing Steve, me, and the rest of the class. It was one of his trick questions. Everyone looked around for a second to see who was brave enough to answer. We know you didn't, because you want us to believe you be all brave and shit, but you doing a lot of coward shit. I didn't move. Definitely, Steve spoke up. That grin was on his face again. He looked over at me. If someone wrongs me, I'm going to do what I got to do to teach him a lesson. Okay, Mr. Mitchell replied. I think a lot of people would agree with you, Steve. Although Vicky doesn't appear to be one of them, he said, turning to her. Her hand was raised, and she looked annoyed. But when does it end? Vicky cut in. I mean, if someone does something to you, and you do something back, then the person just wants to get back at you. And it goes on forever. How does that solve anything? Steve was silent for a second. Hey, I'm just being real. That's just the way it is. If people can't handle it, they should have never started trouble to begin with, he said. But what if someone gets in your face when you're doing something wrong? Are you going to get revenge then, when it was your mistake that started everything? Vicky cut back, her words sharp as blades. Though she said no names, I knew she was talking about how I called Steve out for hitting Eric. Oh, I forgot. You don't make mistakes. Some students... Oh, I forgot. You don't make mistakes. Some students laughed. Even Steve smiled with a look that said Vicky proved her point. I love seeing her in action. Her almond eyes were so intense, you could almost feel heat from her step. Easy, Vicky, Mr. Mitchell said. What Vicky is showing us is that revenge can be messy. Very messy. What we are about to read in this class is a messy revenge story. One which involves lies, betrayal, violence, even murder. Sounds like a day in the hood, Roland said, and a few students laughed. Nope, it's Hamlet. A 400-year play that is as rough as anything we've seen in the movies or read in this class. A few students rolled their eyes as Mr. Mitchell started passing out books to each of us. The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, by William Shakespeare. I flipped through my copy. It was filled with old-fashioned words like in my mother's Bible, thou and thine. Who can read that stuff? The word Hamlet seemed stupid to me, like the name of a sandwich or something. But the way Mr. Mitchell described it made it seem interesting. A revenge story involving a murder? It sounded familiar. The next thing I know, Mitchell had the class reading a scene out loud. There was this ghost of someone who had been killed. He was begging for his son Hamlet to catch his murderer. Avenge me, he said over and over again. Even though it was 400 years old, I knew the meaning of the words. I lived them every day when I thought about Hero and the coward who shot him. But Hero ain't popping up talking some, avenge me, avenge me, avenge me. He was not doing it. At the end of class, I was reading ahead, slowly connecting the strange words like pieces in a large puzzle. Martin, what happened today? Mr. Mitchell asked as soon as the class emptied. He closed the door so no one could hear us. His voice was almost angry. I didn't want to hear a lecture. Not after Steve started with me. He didn't... Okay, Squeeze, whatever. The boy was asking for it. Huh? I said playing dumb. Don't hunt me, Martin. I'm done playing with you. You are scared of no thin ice in this school. So, you think I'm going to sit here there and let someone diss me? That ain't happening. Martin, listen to me for a second. I'm talking to you man to man now. Oh, so now we're going to be friends. What's up, Holmes? Go ahead, Mr. Martin. Let's be real, I snapped, unable to stop the anger spilling from my lips. I know it wasn't his fault, but I just couldn't take it. My mom Frankie, Vicky, Steve, and now him, it was just too much. Martin, I'm with him though. Like, I understand that when you walked in the classroom, I was the only one that was looking aggressive and like I was about that life. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna need you to calm down. Like, you making it seem like I'm just up in this bitch starting trouble with everybody because I'm the only one you catching. That's not how it's rocking. Even though I understand that the teacher response was only to Martin respond because he snapped first and the teacher snapped back. But at the end of the day, the teacher shouldn't be snapping because he a teacher and Martin a damn student. And if you think about it as age-wise, then think of it like this. The teacher's damn near 30-something and the student is only like 16 or 17. So I don't want to hear that shit. And if you do want to hear that shit, you can still drop it down in the comments. Martin, what do you want to say? What do you want me to say? Sorry, Mr. Mitchell. I was wrong to stand up in class. Next time I promise to sit there like a punk and let him bust on me. I said, checking my anger before I went too far. Look, Mr. Mitchell, I gotta go. He did something that struck me then. Something that hurt. His eyes dropped, his shoulders slumped forward, and then he nodded. Go, he said quietly. Get out of here. That second, he looked defeated. It was like I had truly exhausted him. I knew I was pushing him away. But I guess I was testing him, hoping he wouldn't give up, trusting that someone still believed in me. Anyone. That's true, but still, you coming at me aggressively. I'm trying not to respond aggressively. It's not really working out. So you know what? You just go. Just go. You are talented and have potential, Martin, he had said the other day. I held those words like a lifeline when Frankie was hitting me. They led me back to Blueford, made me contact Alfred Ramirez, gave me hope that there was more for me than streets where brothers died. Maybe you were wrong about me. You know, what you said the other day, I could feel my anger thawing for a second. Since the ocean of sadness beneath me. It's like I don't understand this child because it's like he wants you to give him those words like I'm there for you, I'm here for you, I'm gonna have your back. But at the same time, when you give him those words, he's like, how can you be here for me? How can you have my back? How can you be? And you're like, what, homie? You either want me here or you don't. No, Martin, you were wrong about you, he said, rubbing his forehead. Wrong to blame yourself for things that aren't your fault. Wrong to keep pushing people away. Wrong to let stupid comments from Steve jeopardize your career here at Bruford. Wrong to protect guys that aren't your friends. I couldn't speak or move. My feet were nailed to the floor, and my mouth was glued shut. He was dropping truth on me like rains of bombs. You were wrong about me too, he added. I'm not here to punish you or make your life difficult. I guess you got all the answers then, I replied, kicking my foot against my desk. He took a deep breath. See, he trying to calm himself down because, you know, every part of him want to respond to this anger with anger, but he remembering that he's an adult, so he can't respond to the anger with anger, and it's annoying. I understand. If you ever had to respond, if you ever had somebody step in your face on some hoorah shit, and you approach that shit with a calm manner, even though you didn't want to, drop it in the comments. No, I don't, Martin. But I know some of what you're going through. My nephew was killed by a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting 9 years ago. There's a few blocks from his school. He was only 6 years old, he said, resting his hand briefly on his chest like he was saying a prayer. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The police never found the person who did it. And to this day, I think it's because people are too scared to talk, he said. I could feel him watching me. I kept my eyes focused on the crack in the tile floor. Anything to avoid his gaze. I'm sorry. I see too many kids taken down on these streets, Martin. Too many young people swallowed up by drugs, guns, and gangs. Kids who don't know better, making bad choices that ruin their lives. I decided a long time ago to try and catch kids before they fall. It's one reason I became a teacher. I'm saying this so you know where I'm coming from, in case you want to talk. You think I'm one of those fallen kids, don't you? That's why you always in my face. No. Y'all got something in common. He just told you he lost his nephew. His nephew got shot. Your brother got shot. Y'all got something in common. He's telling you if you need somebody to talk to, he died. Damn. Didn't I just say this motherfucker make everything difficult? Oh, shit, because you're going to have to make this a two-parter. That's because you talk too fucking much. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. Make it no, you can make it. I'm sorry, y'all. You're just going to have to be long. I'm just going to read. I'm not going to talk no more. No, I think you got a difficult choice to make. Right now, you're still standing. But if you get kicked out of the school, where will you be? Another fight? And that's what would happen. I glanced up at him. School is the least of my problems. He nodded. I could hear students lining up in the hall outside his door. His next class was about to start. Martin, we both know you know a lot more than you told the police the other day. As someone who has lost someone, I need to say this. For your brother's sake, you got to tell the police what you know. I know it doesn't sound right. But if you keep one kid safe because you get a gun or a criminal off the streets, it's worth it. Mr. Mitchell had been making sense until he started asking me to snitch on my friends. Then I started feeling pressure in my head, like my skull was crammed full of tangled knots. I needed to get away from him. Next period's about to start, I said, getting up from my chair, heading towards the door. I gotta go. He sighed and followed me to the doorway. Remember what I said, Martin. You have a choice to make. My door's always open if you ever want to talk. I nodded and rushed past him into the crowded hallway, never looking back. The last class of the day was gym with Mr. Dooley. Thanks to my doctor's note, all I did was sit on the bleachers and watch everyone play basketball. Steve Clarence and the rest of their friends dominated the court, but they weren't pushing anyone around, not even Eric. He nodded to me from the other side of the gym. It was the first time I seen Eric since my fight in the locker room. I wanted to smack him for talking to Miss Spencer. Yeah, it was brave, and it got me out of trouble. But so what? Where I come from, talking to the principal could get you beat up or worse. I couldn't handle him getting hurt for me. What the fuck do you want? You mad when motherfuckers be brave. When motherfuckers act like cowards, you call them out. Oh, shut up, Twix. Eric, I said, walking up to him after class, we need to talk, bro. He smiled when he saw me. A look that reminded me of my little brother. For a split second, I almost forgot what I was going to say. What's up, Martin? You all right? He asked, glancing at the cut on my forehead. Man, what happened to your face? It wasn't Steve, was it? Don't worry about it, I snapped, looking angry that he was still looking out for me. Look, Eric, I heard about what you said to Miss Spencer. You need to stay out of my business, Holmes. You hear me? What's your problem? I just told her the truth. I don't care what you told her. Just stay out of it. What you did was stupid. I felt guilty saying the words. It was like back in the day when I scolded Hero for following me and Frankie. But if only I'd been hard on him, maybe he'll still be here today. I wasn't making this mistake again. You sound stupid. Stupid. I was sticking up for you. The only thing that would be stupid if I let you get busted when you didn't do nothing. If you think that's the kind of friend I am, you got me all wrong. His eyebrow was creased and his eyes were focused. He meant what he said. That's what scared me. I couldn't handle another person being in danger because of me. Another person I might not be able to protect. The next thing I knew, I heard myself blurting out words I never meant. Words I shouldn't have said. Who you kidding, Eric? We ain't friends. You can't even take care of yourself, so you got no business worrying about me, I said, giving him a shove to make my point. From now on, just stay away from me and stay out of my business. What's your problem, Martin? What'd I do to you? He said, not even trying to defend himself. I wish he insulted me or called me a coward for being too scared to be his friend, but he didn't. Instead, he just stood there, looking hurt and confused. I couldn't stand looking, because so now you finna run away from him like a coward. This man stay wanting out everybody else act like a coward just so he can. Ugh. Without a word, I turned and stormed out of Blueford, glad to escape the place that felt more like my prison than my school. I've only gone 2 blocks when I spotted something that made my heart drop to my feet. It was Cargo. He was watching me from across the street. So you know Frankie's somewhere there. You know Frankie's somewhere there. And you trying to get rid of all the motherfuckers that's going to help you. Not understanding that Frankie only wants you and he ain't finna hurt nobody else. So you need to have all types of groups of people around you so you can be protected at all fucking times and stop acting like you a gangster. Because at this point, I'm about to call his ass a wannabe gangster. Okay. So, y'all, I'm so happy that I was only able to do that chapter. And that means I'm going to start nothing new. I might do a Google video today. I keep saying I'm going to do this damn Google video. I'm going to do a Google video today.